Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new, my name is Shannon. I am a mum of two. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and we live in Nottinghamshire in the UK. I film all sorts here on this channel, any kind of family adventures we get on, whether that's holidays, staycations, days out, but lots of homey stuff here too. But today is a little bit of a different one for me, and it's one that I feel like is iffy to talk about. I feel like whenever there's this subject, you've got to be really super careful. So to just get it out the way, this is going to be a video about weight loss and about body image and all of that stuff that, you know, can cause issues or can be triggering to some people. And if that is you, then please do switch off. If you're someone who watches my videos normally, but this isn't your kind of thing, then I totally get it. Like, please do not feel pressure to watch this. It's something that I want to talk about because it's a big part of my life right now, and it is something I've had quite a lot of questions, like the more I kind of mention bits and bobs, but please do switch off if this video isn't for you. There'll be another video soon. The usual chit chat, the usual home vlogs and hauls and whatever else. But for those of you who do want to stick around, I am going to talk about my weight loss journey so far, and kind of what I'm doing to do it. So because I vlog, naturally I talk about things that are going on in my life. Obviously there's some things I don't talk about, but this is very personal to me and it's a big deal to me. So I am on a weight loss journey. I started on the 8th of January this year, and so far I have lost 2 stone and 9 pounds, so just over 2.5 stone, which is quite a big amount of weight, but obviously I'm a bigger girl, like I've got quite a big amount of weight to lose, and I still do have a lot left to lose to be at a weight that I consider to be healthy and that I just feel like I'm gonna be the best version of myself. So I guess I just wanted to give a bit of like a backstory, like if you don't know me or if you do know me, but just fill in any blank gaps, you know, just to get up to date with where I am currently. So yeah, I am 31, I'm a mum of 2, I have a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old, and I have always been on the like curvy side. Retrospectively, I feel like I looked great at certain stages of my life. At the time, I always thought I was overweight, which, because technically I was, BMI was never on my side. I'm 5'2", so you know, height isn't my best friend, and when it comes to BMI, that obviously plays a huge part. But for as long as I can remember, I have been like deemed as overweight, even when I was in like a size 8 clothing, 10 clothing, 12 clothing, all very normal, lovely sizes that I would be very comfortable at now. I have always been classed as overweight. I've always had big boobs, a big bum, big thighs. That's just where I carry my weight, and then like a smaller waist and whatever. But that is kind of my body. Obviously I had my first little boy in 2021, and a second in 2023, and I didn't really lose weight between the two. So I know from like my Badger Notes app, I wouldn't know otherwise because I've not really ever, like for a long time, focused on like weights on scales at all. But I know from my Badger Notes app, which if you don't know, when you have a little one in the UK, I feel like most places do it now in the UK, they put all your notes online. So when you go for your booking in appointment, they weigh you. So that's how I know what I weighed, you know, at the start of each pregnancy basically. And I know that the start weight for my first pregnancy and the start weight for my second pregnancy were a couple of stone different. Like I had gained a couple of stone between those two. I have done Slimming World probably 3 times, like quite on it, 3 times, but one time in particular I really stuck to it for a really long amount of time, and I lost 3.5 stone, and it did work for me. I don't know that it was the best thing for me, but it kept me like on track. It kept me making good meals, and I do think it has a place in like a weight loss kind of world. I know a lot of people really don't like it. Obviously it uses the term sins for things that you shouldn't have too much of. You should only have a certain amount of sins in a day, which obviously the word itself like makes it seem like a bad thing. It's spelt slightly differently, but yeah, I know that a lot of people kind of have a problem with that, and just certain bits and bobs. For example, like an avocado is not classed as like a good thing to have because it is very like high in fat, but it's obviously good healthy fat, but Slimming World doesn't necessarily class it that way, and I've not done it for a long time. Things change, but that's not what I'm doing at the minute. I definitely still cook a lot of Slimming World meals. I hold a lot of my like recipes and just thought process around food. Like, you know, there's a term that they use called speed food, and I know tomatoes was one of them. And when I was on Slimming World, I used to make a big old batch of tomato soup, and yeah, that would be like a good speed food for me. And that is something that I still make, and I still think when I have that, I do notice like more of a loss. But yeah, generally I don't remember loads of the Slimming World stuff anymore. So being 5'2", my healthy weight based on BMI would be between 7.5 stone and 9.2 stone, 9.3 stone, roughly. 7.5 stone to 9.2 stone. I know for so many people that is your weight, and that is a healthy weight for you and a realistic weight for you, and that's the weight that your body holds itself best and you feel your best and you look your best. I obviously haven't been that weight for literally as long as I can remember. I remember being in year 8 at school and going to Pontins or Butlins with a friend. That friend was really like unwell at the time, and she was a lot smaller than me, and I remember us having to get weighed to go on like a bungee thing, and I remember her weight and I remember then my weight, and I weighed 10 stone, like dead on 10 stone, and I was in year 8, and I remember being mortified because my weight was almost double my friend's weight. I was 13 roughly, and I didn't really know whose weight was the right weight or what was, you know. I just remember that being a really like something that sticks in my mind. And I remember my sister talking to me at the time and saying, your weight is very healthy, your body is very healthy, you're in like a good size, you look great, like do not compare your weight to anyone else's weight. But 10 stone, I know now, is overweight by my BMI. But I also look at pictures of me then, and I know I was in size 8 clothes, and I know that I was not big looking. And I just find it really tricky to navigate that. I know some people are really like, love the BMI thing. I don't think it works for everybody, and that might be, I feel like if I say that as an overweight, or in fact an obese by BMI standards person, it seems like I'm just making excuses. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it is a very healthy measure of weight and body size and what's healthy and what's now not healthy for a lot of people. I also remember when I think I was 15 or 16 and I went to get the pill for the first time. I went to get it because I was having like bad skin flare-ups, and I'd, you know, heard that the pill could be good for that. So I went, and the doctor at the time, again 15, 16, he was a bit of a knob, to be honest with you. He made a few comments about like just off topic but silly comments, and he also mentioned how I was like very overweight and whatever else because of my height and my weight, meaning my BMI was overweight. And to be told that you're overweight and like unhealthy and everything when I don't think I was, is quite hard. Like I was so active at that time and like very sporty, and like, I mean, not very sporty, I was not like, you know, but I love my rounders and my hockey and my dance and drama and performing arts. Like I was generally like an active person. it sticks with you. And I think a lot of how you're treated in those scenarios, I almost flips the switch in your mind to go, oh, I'm overweight. That's me in that category, and that's where I'll be. And you kind of lose that like respect for yourself, and you kind of just settle for that then. Like, you're overweight, so you just keep being overweight, and I just get more and more and more overweight. I don't know, it's just like if someone tells you you're something, you act like it, you believe it, and I don't know, that's obviously seems like an excuse, and it's very like, it's in my mind how I see it. I'm not saying this is the right way or the wrong way, but this is how I kind of, there's a few comments here and there like throughout my early years that make you think, I don't know, I feel like it's led me down a path partly, but also I think life, circumstance, you know, being in a relationship. I've been in a relationship since I was 16 to the skinniest guy, and he can eat. And I think that plays a big part, because you just sit and you eat together, and girls can't always do it the same as us as the guys. So yeah, that's like a bit of a backstory. Sorry if it's really boring, but yeah, I've done Slimming Mud before. I've tried all sorts. I've had shakes before, wouldn't recommend. There was also like a juice thing that literally was basically like a laxative. I literally took one portion of that and spent the whole day very unwell, and would never do that again. And I've definitely gone through my phases of like being properly into the gym, and you know, I've never been a runner. I really struggled to run, even when I was at my like healthiest, fittest. Running is just something I found hard. I would love to do it one day. I'd love to become a runner. That's like a goal for me. But I feel like this is going to be a very waffly video and not very like sticking on a path, but it's just a little chat and just, yeah, just my brain and what we're dealing with. But yeah, I have gone through like more healthy phases, more fit phases, and I've also gone through phases where I've kind of succumbed to being overweight and gone, well, this is me then. And I started seeking out plus size influencers, plus size YouTubers, plus size clothing, and just kind of thought, well, this is my lot. This is what I'm going to be. Those people are quite happy. Like, I can be happy. And of course you can be. But I think I know deep down that I wasn't. And I think I know deep down, as a mum, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be morbidly obese. Like, that's you know, BMI, morbidly obese. I don't want to be that. I want to be fit and healthy and there for my kids. Like, I don't want it to be hard to get off the sofa. I don't want it to be hard to run around soft play. I want to be able to run around a field with my kids and have fun with them. They're so small for such a short period of time. Like, I'm already cross that I'm not there yet. Do you know what I mean? But it was so much harder than it looked to get going. I tried multiple times to pick up Slimming World again, to pick up certain diets and habits and ways that people are losing weight. I tried a lot of different options, but ultimately I don't think I have a very good relationship with food. I think losing my mum when I was 12, I think I turned to food more and more so as life went on. I think when I was younger, my metabolism was better. I was a lot more active just naturally through my life, what I was getting up to. And I think as I've got older, I just couldn't eat the same way that I was. And I think every night I would lay in bed and I would go, tomorrow I'm gonna start. Tomorrow is going to be the start of the new me. I am going to stop eating crap. I'm going to start looking after myself. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do an exercise. And I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to sign up to a gym. And I'm going to... It was always tomorrow, and that tomorrow just never really came, or it would be okay until 6 o'clock at night. I'd have been good all day. And then the evenings I would really struggle to not just eat rubbish like I really would. And I do think for a lot of people, emotional eating is like a really real thing. And I do think that sometimes it's like you're trying to fill a void or trying to compensate for something you're lacking. For me, I'm someone who thinks about food a lot. I would know what was in the cupboards, and like I would be thinking, what can I have? What should I go and have? What should we have after dinner? Like, and if there was something, if I knew there was something there, it couldn't just sit there for a couple of days. Like, it was there. And I would say it was like a bit of an obsession with food. I don't know. I'm really laying it all out here. And I'm just trying to not think about certain people that are going to watch this and use it against me. But I can't not tell my like truth and my life because of a few people who ultimately don't matter. Anyways, food was a comfort, food was a distraction, food was in my mind all the time, a lot of the time anyway. And it's so silly because I would make, or I would and I still do make 3 healthy meals a day for my kids, healthy snacks, and I know how important it is to give them a varied, healthy, balanced diet. But I wouldn't do the same for me. And that then you become a bit like sneaky with it, like, because I wouldn't want them to see me eating a chocolate bar. I would like wolf it down in the kitchen. Like, why? Where's the enjoyment in that? If I'm having a bit of chocky, I want to enjoy it. Like, I don't want to just be shoveling it down for no good reason other than the fact that like I don't feel satisfied until I know that that's done and that's gone. I don't know. Like, it's clearly not a normal thing. And I've been in therapy a lot over my time, and it's not ever something I've really discussed because I've always felt too ashamed and too embarrassed. So to be telling you guys is quite a big deal, but I'm sure there's people out there who feel the same or have felt the same, or maybe there's not, but this is me and this is how I felt. And for the life of me, I could not get into the mindset. I really wanted to, but I just couldn't. And so in January, I started Mounjaro, and I know that that's like, some people really aren't gonna like that I've said that and really aren't gonna be supportive of that. And please do feel free to click off this video if you want to. I know it's not for everybody, and I know a lot of people don't understand. It's very stigmatized and there's a lot of like preconceptions and misunderstanding. It's not something that I took lightly to start. One of my friends started back in August and has been such an inspiration, but basically since August, at the same time as her, I hadn't really heard of it at all. I'd heard of other weight loss jabs, but I'd not heard of this one until really she started it. She was telling me about it, and then I went off and I was doing my own research, and I was really worried, like really nervous, because I don't take any medication for anything, and it just seemed really alien to me to do that. And obviously, like, you see all the scare stories and the risks and everything like that. So I went away, and since August up until I made the decision to start in January, I was backwards and forwards looking into so much research and stories and all the NHS stuff about it and everything. And actually, the more time went on, more people I knew had started it. Some people because they are diabetic and it was something that was prescribed to them through the NHS as a diabetic tool, and other people who had got private prescriptions, which you do still have to qualify for. It's not something that anyone can get. You do have to have a certain BMI. You do have to, be seen as someone who would benefit from it. And yeah, I it was. So I know that so many people see it as like the lazy way. Like, even saying this, I know people in my life who will have a problem with me admitting that I'm not admitting. I've never hidden that I'm on it. If anyone asked me, I would have said, but I only have told a few select people. I've never lied about weight loss. If anyone's asked, I've said, but there's people in my life who I know would fully judge that I'm on it. And so it's a bit scary to be putting this out there, but I don't know. I know for a lot of people it's very, very, very possible, and for myself included, given the right circumstances, to lose weight from eating less and moving more. Basic, standard, of course. But I think for a lot of people it's so much more complicated than that. And I think sometimes if you are saying that to someone, that is from a very privileged point of view of someone that doesn't have like a mental battle with weight loss and with food noise and with binge eating and with comfort eating and all of the things that many people struggle with. And I just didn't feel like I had the brain capacity to be on a diet. Like, I would try, but as well as trying to raise 2 happy, healthy kids, trying to run the house, trying to work, trying to be a mum, trying to be a friend, trying to be a wife, trying to be everything, I just felt like I couldn't also be on a diet. Like, I don't know, I just found it too much for my brain to handle. So yeah, I'm obviously not a scientist or a doctor, so I don't feel like I'm the best person to explain to you about the Mounjaro glp1, but I have done so much research for myself and have felt really equipped and like understood and just full of knowledge for myself to make the decision, to make a good decision and know that the risks and the benefits, you know, what are we dealing with. For me, the risks of being severely obese were a lot worse than the risks of me being on this medication. I know that being overweight was doing a lot to my organs and to my joints and to my mental health, and to my relationships, and it just wasn't good for anyone. And I do have some mental health stuff, which I've not really gone into too much on here. I'm generally good. I'm generally like good, but I was just struggling, and I just think, before you pass judgment on anyone you hear that's saying they're on this, please just know that you've not ever walked a mile in their shoes, and that you don't know what it's like to have their brain and to be dealing with the battles and the life that they're dealing with that has led them to be the way that they are. And yeah, so for me, Mounjaro has literally calmed my brain in a way that is so much more than food and weight. My brain, it's a bit crazy up there. It runs at 100 billion miles per hour. Like, Ollie is forever telling me to slow down when I'm trying to tell him a story, or the way that I flip between subject to subject to subject, because there is just so much going on up there that I'm trying to just process and handle and deal with, and I'm just very quick in my brain, if that makes sense. And this isn't like a humble brag, I don't think is a good thing. I just mean there's a lot going on, and it can be really noisy, and it can be really hard to relax. Like, relaxing is something I really, 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 really struggle to do, and to be like chill and to just, yeah, it's just tricky. But actually, since taking this, not only has it quietened the food noise, I feel like it has quietened a lot of the other noise and the other anxieties and the other worries, and I just feel like I've got space in there right now to think of other things and to think of plans for the future, and I can't explain it. I honestly can't explain it. And please do tell me if you are someone who's on it and you have felt the same. please let me know, because I just feel like everything just feels like, and that's all I can explain it as. I'm not thinking about food all the time, but I'm also not thinking about so many other things. As well as not thinking about food in the same way, or really at all. Like, I think of food when I'm hungry and I eat food when I'm hungry, but I just, like, Ollie can sit there and eat snacks and treats and I just don't really have an interest in it, like, really at all. I'm not denying myself anything. So, like, say if he did have a bag of chocolate buttons, I would have one or two, or just like a couple, and feel satisfied. Like, whereas before I would have eaten the whole share bag. Like, I cannot explain to you that there was just like this hole, this void that I felt like I was filling, and it was like almost like scratching an itch by just like eating it all. I don't know if that's, I mean, I don't think it's normal, but I don't know if that's common or whatever, but that's how it felt. And the honest, like, the beauty, I can't actually tell you how incredible it is to just eat what I fancy when I'm hungry, but not go overboard. Like, my portions were so much bigger than they are now. I can't eat anywhere near as much as I was, but I'm not going hungry, I'm not dissatisfied, I don't feel like I'm missing out. I'm eating really healthy, balanced days worth of food, and I feel good for it. I've got more energy, and yeah, I just can't explain what a switch it's been. I'm also craving healthier things. Like, with meals, I will have, let's say a roast, I'll have like way more veg and like really love the veg, whereas before I would have so many potatoes, and I'm still having potatoes, but I would have had, I'm not going to say numbers because I don't want to shame anyone on your potato, you have as many potatoes as you want, but I would have had loads of potatoes and less veg. Like, so I'm still having bits of everything, but it's just what I'm having more of is like the good stuff, and I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel like, I don't know, I just feel good for it. I just feel great for it. I know a lot of people are scared of like side effects and stuff. And again, I can do a Q&A off the back of this if people are interested. But I've really been lucky with side effects. I feel like, for me, I know that certain things will make me have side effects. So we went for an Indian a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't have a lot. It wasn't the quantity, but I know that the sauce, it gave me a bit of acid reflux, and I was up in the night, and it just felt like it was just a bit much for my body to be handling right now. If I were to have too much chocolate, I know that that would make me feel that way as well. Obviously, alongside the glp1, I have had to make decisions for myself, and I have had to, I think you can still lose weight. I think people do still lose weight when they're not fueling their body in the best way. But for me, I really want to support it. A, it's expensive to be on. I don't want to be on it forever. But B, I don't want the bad side effects. And C, I just want to give myself the best chance. I want this to be a lifestyle change. I don't want to just be on this medication, come off it, and have not learned anything from it. I'm really trying to mend my relationship with food and to really see the benefits in the good stuff and how that makes me feel, and that my body is something that really deserves the good stuff. It really deserves to be full of yummy fruits and vegetables, and but also not be denied the other bits and bobs as well. So I have been really making an effort to eat well, which hasn't really been so much of an effort because I just feel like it's been working really well with the medication, and that's what I'm wanting. And I have also been walking so much more. I can't explain to you what a lazy little toad I was before, honestly. I would walk places with the kids, like if the kids wanted to go to certain parks or go on walks or whatever, but I would never just take myself for a walk, like, ever. Walking is actually something that I would always say to Ollie I don't like doing, but every single day without fail I'm getting out for a walk, even if, like, so say Ollie, I start work at 6, sometimes he gets home at 20 to 6, and before I would have just like sat there until my shift started and worked. But now I'm like, right, you're home, I'm going for a walk, see ya. And even if it's just 20 minutes, it's 20 minutes of me getting in some good amount of steps on my own. It's benefiting my mind and my mental health so much, but it's just getting me out there, getting me moving. And I know it's only 20 minutes, but 20 minutes one day is an hour and 20 another day, 2 hours another day, 10 minutes another day. Like generally in a week, I feel like I'm doing around 6,000-7,000 steps a day on average. Some days, like I say, if I only get the 20 minutes, then I'm doing less, but you know, other days I'm doing 12, 13, 14,000. But I'm just conscious of it, and I'm making an effort to get the steps in. And when I say that, I'm not wearing an Apple Watch. So that's just like if I have my phone on me, it says that. But I do need to get my Apple Watch set back up because I do find it motivating. And yeah, I've not worn it for years, so I don't even know if it's still good and still works. But yeah, I've been walking so much more. And I think before, like say in a car park, I would have always just parked in the closest place I could, whereas now I'm like, no, I will park further and I will walk more. Or if we're going to a play park that we had to drive to, I would always just park at the park. But now I'm like, no, we can park 10 minutes away and walk in. Like that's good for us all. We, you know, things like that. It's just making those small changes, but I really do think they're helping me. I also do the odd little YouTube workout here and there, and that's something I want to pick up more and more. And I've recently got my weighted hula hoop back out to just try and help tone my tummy. I'm very conscious of like the amount of loose skin I'm gonna have if I'm losing weight at a quickish rate. Also, I had loose skin anyway because I've had 2 babies and I was huge in both pregnancies, so my tummy already has loose skin. So I just wanted to see if I could help that out at all. Swimming I've done here and there, but I really want to pick it up regularly. But that's just been like in, you know, finding the time, and it will fall into place. But like I said, it's not even been 3 months yet, and I just feel like just so much better. I can't explain. I'm not tracking calories as such. I have had a few days where I pop it into my Fitness Pal just to just have an idea. I will say that on this medication it's easy to go under your calories. I definitely struggle to eat some days, especially like, you know, when you have recently jabbed. So I really make sure to keep eating when I can, and you have to drink so much water. Like it's really, really important to drink loads and loads of water. So I've been doing that, but like I said, I will go into more specifics if you want me to. If you've got any questions, please do ask. Please be kind. This is a very vulnerable video for me, and you never know who else is reading the comments on these kind of videos and how it can affect people as well. I think for me, I had a lot of weight to lose at the start, and it felt literally impossible. It felt like there was no point trying because how on earth could I lose that whole amount of weight? But I think actually when you break it down, like I feel great having lost 1 stone, I feel great having lost 2 stone, I'll be so happy when I've lost 3 stone. You can break it down into smaller amounts and it feels more realistic and more achievable, but I was really struggling to get my head around that, and I think it just felt impossible, whereas this has given me, it's just held my hand. I can't explain. I'm having to do a lot of the work myself, but it is a massive tool and it is so helpful. And I'm not here to like sell this to anyone. Obviously, taking any medication is a big decision. Please only listen to what I'm saying and know it's my opinion and my experience. Everyone has a different experience. Some people really don't get on with it well at all. Some people don't find that it works at all. But as always with anything you see on the internet, go and do your own research if it's something that you're looking into. But I think I'm going to end this video here. I think I've spoken a lot and I think I've said kind of everything that I had in mind to say. Yeah, if you want to know anything else, please do let me know. And I will see you very, very soon for another video. Bye guys. Love ya. Mwah.